What does that mean? It's a windy day out here, very windy. Now, this is September of 2025, and every state has an obligation to the citizens who live within that state to make a benefit or a profit or something. But we can see that we've been left out of the conversation, and enough is enough, as failure was never an option in America. And that's just real. You only know what you know, but if you don't know, I can say you can go as long as you can go, but you don't know. So we have all of these people who are just, living their best life. They don't have time to deal with us as ordinary people. And as we're just ordinary people, we have to accept that. But ordinary with the ability to self-advocate, with the ability to understand that choice is everything, and we've just chosen to allow others to lead. But I'm not a follower, I promise you that. Therefore, I choose to lead in everything that I do. So, I have 3 sons, they're with me. Some would like to say, oh, I'm enabling. And I'm just saying, well, where's the foundation in America that's been provided for all children to benefit? I don't see it. And then there's all these mixed race people. And look, the phone is tripping already. And there's just a lot of mixed race people out here. And it's not hot. No, not at all. But this is, you know, an iPhone, and it's paid for. And anything that's paid for is problematic. That's real. And then, you have to ask yourself, well, who will choose to lead? Well, honestly, I've never been a follower, so therefore, it is what it is. Background noise is available. Now let me see. Put it back on. It's there. Well, hello, hello. And I'm just saying, this is September. And we all have to understand, we all remember 9/11. I know we do. And it'll go down in whatever, in history. But so does January 6th. It goes down. And thank you. Thank you so much for the compliment. We just talking today. It's a perspective as freedom cost. Well, I like you too. I like everyone. And we just have so much work to do. But what does that work look like? And how does it get done? Especially when you elect people. But even if they're your skin color, don't think that they represent you. The representation is whatever. Well, thank you so much. I'm grandmother's age. I'm 67. And it is still hot out here in Las Vegas. It's like 97 degrees. And I was just saying, I probably should take my keys with me simply because my son is gone. And we locked the house, and then when you walk around the backyard, you really can't see. But it is important. Safety is important. Yeah. So, as it has not become a national conversation, I'm curious as to why. Why do we accept failure as an option when we're talking about mandatory services like public education? For my children, they simply benefited. So it's really hard to say what other people have accepted. I don't know if I can get a better picture out here, but because the camera has an issue. It's only skin deep. That's what they say. Beauty is only skin deep. But it's really still warm out here. Here we go. Okay, that's better. Gives me a background. Because we have these oleanders and they go all the way down and around. I consider it a privacy wall. Because that's what it is. But I'm living in Las Vegas. And they have so many black elected officials, and even if they don't want to consider themselves as being black or African Americans or however you want to see it, people who look like me. And then, this is just a tool, but when you mistake it for companionship, it's not that. It is what it is. And figure out what role do you play. And it really depends on what you were given. But it's up to you to understand the gift is from the universe. So, in other words, I talk about what's not happening. And what's not happening is, we all pay these things called taxes. And nobody complains about that. We pay all kind of taxes. And those dollars go to support the community and ensuring adequacy for all, and I do mean all, as failure is just not an option, but until you see it like that. But once you see it like that, I'm trying to understand how should I see it, because I have no intention on continuing not to benefit from an estate that my mother has left me. And Nevada is hanging on to it like they have rights. Nevada has no rights to anything that my mother has left for me to administer. And I thought I made that very clear. But when nobody in your house can print, and then you got big boy running around talking about Epson, Epson, Epson printer, and then you upgrade to the business model, and then still nobody in your house can print. I said, well, what the hell, right? Now, I'm able to print from all these older devices that I never could print from before, and I don't care because everything is in the log files. And I've got every device in its fault tolerance. They just collect all this information, but it's information that you too can have access to it, even though you don't have administrative rights to the logs files. You're just not a part of the group, and you didn't even understand you're not free. And freedom is fundamental. I'm so happy that you like the way I look. I'm 67 years old, and I'm sure you have a long way to go, because life is not about looks. It's beyond looks. It's about the ability to communicate. My fingers are fine. See? They're all fine. And they work. They work hard. And I do what I want to do, as I am obedient to the will of whatever mission I'm on. And I'm just trying to start this national conversation as failures become an option. And, well, no, you don't. You may struggle with the ability to communicate, but I promise you, if you get into the mirror and do like they taught me to teach at Barbizon, and Barbizon, you just go in the mirror and just have the conversation with self. Because really, that's who you're talking to in the first place. Self. Convincing yourself that you can do it. Because truly you can. And no, you ain't seeing my feet. I'm sorry. The feet are not for sale. None of it is, actually. But did you know that you should go online and watch 60 Minutes, because they said in Japan that they're making these dolls, in anime dolls, anime figures, and they look just like the cartoon characters. And then they're marrying these figures, these AI models, and then they're having relations with them. And I'm saying, that's mental illness. Hey, and I'm saying that's all it is. But, we all have to understand what mental illness really is. We're all given the same ability to articulate and communicate about what it is that we see. And when we're all sitting here and we all understand that it is the data that we see, it may be unbelievable why so few of our children are actually making it. But did you see in the news that there are some parents from some school district in California, they're suing the state or the federal government because they're saying these certificates of completion are limiting their children with disabilities, and they don't want their children to have access to those certificates of completion. And really, it is a discriminatory move. It alleviates the state from having the obligation to you because you took it away out and you bought into the narrative. And the narrative is what? Down down the camera. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, it is real. Life is a real reality. And the obligation is to ourselves. So therefore, you have to understand, people fought, and they've not been forced to see little girls being murdered on the porches of churches, or people who look like you and me being swinging from the trees, as in that song. And I'm saying, but when you share that level of information, people are offended by it. It's the truth. It's so unfortunate. But, what can I say? Let the truth be known. It's just America. And who said America was so righteous? No one. Because they don't mind. They just don't mind. I'm very 67 and feeling every moment of it. But they don't mind, oppressing you or acting as if you don't have rights when you do. And we in America have rights that we have not utilized as of yet. But we will, because failure is just not an option. My children will not fail, but neither will I. And I will have access to my content, and I will utilize it as it is nothing but tools. And for these tools, I intend to use them to do whatever it is I choose to do. But this is life, and it has to do with liberties and justice for every one of us. And this is America. It's actually getting cooler for whatever reason. But it's an ugly day outside, I'll show you. See? Just clouds everywhere. Just clouds. Oh, hell no. What for? Full body pics are on my Facebook page. It's Darlene Phillips Anderson or Darlene 1958, but we don't do all that. Because we don't have to. Because we're not searching for anything. And life is what it is. They truly have those dolls that you can have made up and live your fantasy on, because if you can't communicate effectively enough to get someone your age, what can I say? That's because you're looking and I'm not. Not looking, not searching anywhere. And here we are, living in America without any knowledge of past events. We don't know what people have tried, but everybody has accepted what? The failure of so many people who look like them. And now your current president, he's going to do you a favor. Anybody who has a criminal record between 18 and 24, he plans on giving them a state option. And the option is to do what? There were nobody's keys are in the door. My keys are right here. Yeah. Huh? You put your keys in the door when you came out?
Huh?
Did you put your keys in the door?
Yeah, I did.
My son. Yeah, I'll show you. See? Say hey to the people. That's the YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yep. And that's life. But it's time to go get some water, and I'm about to take a break. But I would say, help me out by going to my Spotify page and following my podcast, Parent Empowerment Half an Hour. Because, they're limiting my ability to do outreach in my community, and I should have nothing but the ability to build capacity where I live, because it all has to do with belief systems. But when the data is real, it's just what it is. But until we see each other again, I'll say, peace be with you, and y'all have a blessed day. I'm out of here. It's hot. Yep, end.